Okay, welcome everybody. We're going to go ahead and get started. And if you haven't already done so, please stand. Shake everything out, warm everything up, loosen things up. I'm going to turn another light on here so it doesn't get too dark. Shake out, we'll do a lot of breathing, warm up, stretching, toning, working on our posture, our core, lots of different things. Nice and tall, hips tucked under, shoulders back and down. Let's take some deep cleansing breaths. Inhale up. Exhale, reach and lower all the way down to the sides. Continue to check the posture and come up again, up inhaling. Exhale, reach and lower. Keep the feet flat on the floor, bring the arms up inhaling. Exhale and stretch up from side to side at your own pace, reaching and breathing. Feel the stretch up the sides of your body. I like to pick up the opposite heel as I go because I feel like I get a better stretch, but do what works for your body. Now nice and tall again, hips tucked under, shoulders back and down. Let's take another deep cleansing breath. Inhale up. Exhale, reach and lower. We're going to start from the bottom and move up today. So stand on your mat about twice the width of the shoulders, hands on the waist or the hips. Feet are pointed forward mostly, but they can be pointed out just a little bit, whatever's comfortable. Push those hips out in the front. Push the hips back. Keep the abs in tight. Push the hips out in front again. Continue to breathe. Don't forget to breathe. Roll to the left. Roll back. Roll to the right. And roll forward, pushing the hips forward. Opposite direction, roll to the right, roll back, roll to the left, and push forward. Back to the center, toes out, heels in. So the feet are about at a 45-degree angle. We're going to do several of these. Warm our bodies up. First, take a deep breath in. Exhale and stretch to the right, knee over the foot. Up, inhaling. Exhale, stretch to the left, knee over the foot. Up, inhaling. Exhale, bring the arms all the way up to the top. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, reach, lengthen, and lower to the T position, palms down. Lengthen those arms. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, stretch to the right now. Up, inhaling. Exhale, stretch to the left. Up, inhaling. Exhale, right again. You may repeat that or reach toward the floor. Keep the back long and flat, abs in tight, head and neck, an extension of the spine. Up, inhaling. Exhale, left in the same manner. Whatever you did on the right side, do on this side as well. Up, inhaling. Exhale, right again. You may repeat that or cross over, opening to the back, looking up, abs in tight. Back to the center, inhaling. Exhale, whatever you did on the right, do on the left as well. Don't forget to breathe. Up, inhaling. Exhale, arms up. I'm going to bring my feet in a bit. Keep the feet out at a 45-degree angle, but reach up, inhaling. Exhale, bend down. T position, knees over the feet. See if you can come up on the toes and lower down. Try that again, up on the toes and lower. Now all the way up, inhaling. Exhale, reach and lower down. Walk the feet in. Shake everything in. We'll do our balance a little bit later. We're going to continue to warm up our bodies. The lower part should be pretty well warmed up, but put the hands on the front of the thighs. Keep the abs in tight, the shoulders back and down. And stretch forward, bending at the hips. You want a nice flat back. If you choose to modify and soften or bend the knees, it's fine, except you won't get the hamstring and glute stretch that you would if you keep those legs nice and straight. Head and neck and extension of the spine. Go to your limit. Push out through the glutes as you bend at the hips. Lengthen the spine. Don't forget to breathe. Then release and just relax down. Head, neck, and arms relax. Abs in tight, breathing. Then slowly round up, one vertebra at a time. Head, neck, and arms relaxed, put the abs in tight. And as your head comes up, bring those arms up, inhaling. Exhaling again, stretch up from side to side at your own pace. Reaching and breathing. Feel the stretch up the sides of your body. Check that posture nice and tall. Let's take another deep cleansing breath. Inhale up. Exhale, reach and lower, just to the T position, palms down. Take a deep breath in. Exhale and rotate just the upper body to the left, keeping the legs and hips stationary. Front, inhale. Exhale, rotate just the upper body to the right. Front, inhaling. Exhale, lower the left arm, bring the right arm straight up. Check the posture, inhaling. Exhale, reach, lengthen, and stretch to the side. Weight on both feet, abs in tight. Stay in the same plane, pulling the right shoulder back. Reach up, look up, align the left shoulder, and feel the stretch of the right side of your body. Breathing. Up, inhaling. Exhale, change sides. Check the posture, inhaling. Exhale, reach, lengthen, and in the same manner, stretch to this side. Weight on both feet, abs in tight. Bring the left shoulder back as you reach, look up, align the right shoulder, staying in the same plane. Feel the stretch of the left side of your body. Breathe. Up, inhale. Exhale, both arms straight up. Check the posture, take a deep breath in. Exhale, reach, lengthen, and lower the arms to the parallel position in front of you, parallel to the floor and to each other. And then reach forward, pulling those shoulder blades as best you can. Then release, back behind, clasp the fingers together, straighten the arms, squeeze the shoulder blades together, opening the chest. And you may hold it here breathing, or bend the knees, knees over the feet, pushing out through the glutes. Lengthen the spine as you bend at the hips. And then straighten the legs, inhale. Exhale, hold it here breathing, or arch back, jaw closed for a better stretch on the neck. Up, inhaling, release the hold. Exhale, keep the shoulders back, but bring the shoulders up by the ears. No neck, arms are relaxed. Breathe. Nice and tall. And then release. Keep the shoulders back, but reach down, long arms, long neck. Imagine touching the floor with the fingertips and the ceiling with the top of the head. And then release. Check that posture and take another deep cleansing breath. Inhale up. Exhale, reach and lower down. Bend the elbows as you roll the shoulders back. Great big circles, loosening up the torso as you roll. And then straighten the arms for full range of motion. Breathe. Shake everything out. Hopefully you feel pretty well warmed up. We're just going to warm our heads and necks up just a little bit, nice and tall, hips tucked under, shoulders back and down. Just turn your head on your own from side to side, but go slowly so you don't hurt yourself. Protect the neck. Go to the limit and just go back and forth at your own pace. And then come to the center when you're finished. Press the chin into the chest when you are. Release. Heavy head roll over to the left shoulder. Keep the shoulders back and down. Always feel the stretch up the opposite side of the neck. If you have neck issues, only roll in the front. If not, jaw closed. Heavy head throughout. Go to the back. Now to the right shoulder. Heavy head center front, pressing the chin into the chest. Release. Opposite direction. Right shoulder, check that posture. Back if you can. Left. Front, pressing the chin into the chest. Release. Center front, inhaling. Exhale. Just turn your head and roll your head around and about at your own pace, making sure it's warmed up and relaxed. The blood's flowing, joints are lubricated, muscles are relaxed, and shake everything out, moving your hips from side to side. Shake each foot out. Now we're going to add a little balance to our session here. So focus on a spot in front of you that doesn't move. Nice and tall. I'm going to do my right side first. I'm going to start with my hands on my waist. You can have them on your waist or hips or wherever they're comfortable. Focus on that spot. Take a deep breath in. Exhale and bring the right knee up in front. Lower it, inhaling. Exhale, right knee up in front. Rotate it to the side. Lower to the side, inhaling. Exhale, up to the side. Lower, inhaling. Exhale, up to the side. Rotate it to the front and lower, inhaling. Exhale, bend both knees, knees over the feet, abs in tight. Up, inhaling, left side now. Exhale, bring the left knee up in the front. Lower, inhaling. Exhale, left knee up in the front. Rotate it to the side and lower to the side, inhaling. Exhale, up to the side. Lower, inhaling. Exhale, up to the side. Rotate it to the front and lower, inhale. Exhale, bend both knees. Up, inhale. Exhale, bring that right leg forward now. Leg is straight, foot is flexed. Point the toe, flex the foot. Point, flex, point, flex. Lower, inhaling. Exhale, out to the side. Point, flex, point, flex, point, flex. Lower, inhaling. Exhale to the back. Tighten that glute. Point, flex, point, flex, point, flex. Lower, inhaling. Exhale, bend both knees. Up, inhaling. Exhale, left leg forward in the same manner. Point, flex, point, flex, point, flex. Lower, inhaling. Exhale to the side. Point, flex, point, flex, point, flex. Lower, inhaling. Exhale to the back. Tighten the glute. Point, flex, point, flex, point, flex, lower, inhaling. Exhale, bend both knees. Up, inhaling. Exhale, now we're going to do a little bit more balance. So focus on a spot in front of you that doesn't move. I'm going to relax my arms. It's just going to be a little bit more. It's a dancer's posture, dancer variation. So focus on that spot in front of you. Relax those arms, inhaling. Exhale, bring that right knee up in front of you. And you can just hold it here if you want, or hug that knee into the chest. Focus on that spot and breathe. You may hold it here or straighten that leg out. Point, flex, point, flex, point, flex, relax. Bend the knee, hug it, release, and lower, inhaling. Exhale, bend both knees. Up, inhaling, other side now. Exhale, bring that left knee up in front. Hold it there. You can hug it up into the chest. Focus on your spot. Breathe. And if you did on the other side, you can straighten that leg out. Point, flex, point, flex, point, flex. Relax, bend the knee, hug it in, release, and lower, inhale. Exhale again, bend both knees. Up, inhaling, and a deep cleansing breath. Inhale up. Exhale, reach and lower all the way down to the sides. Now we're going to continue some stretching. So cross your right foot over your left. Try to keep the legs as straight as possible and make sure you're as stable as possible. Bring the arms up, inhaling. Exhale, reach, lengthen, and stretch forward, bending at the hips. You can modify by putting your hands on the front of the right thigh, calf. Hold the ankle if you want, or place your fingertips or palms on the floor or blocks in front of the feet and under the shoulders. Really try to bend at the hips and push out to the glutes as best you can, keeping those legs as straight as possible. No stress on the head and neck, just an extension of the spine. Then slowly bring the right arm up, inhale. Exhale, slowly lower. Left arm up, inhale. Exhale, slowly lower. Keep those abs in tight throughout. Right arm up, inhaling again. This time, if you want, you can turn and look up. Exhale, slowly lower. Left arm up, inhaling, looking if you did on the other side. Exhale, slowly lower. Make sure you're stable and slowly come up. Inhaling as you reach the top with the head, neck, and arms. Exhale, reach, lengthen, and lower the arms all the way down to the sides. Look at your feet. My right's over my left. So now I'm going to change and have my left foot over my right. Still try to keep those legs as straight as possible. Nice and tall. Bring the arms up, inhaling. Exhale, reach, lengthen, stretch forward, bending at the hips. Again, you can modify by putting your fingertips on the front of your left thigh, shin, ankle, or fingertips or palms on the floor or blocks in front of your feet and under your shoulders. Really try to bend at the hips, keep those abs in tight, the legs as straight as possible, and push out through those glutes. Bring the left arm up, inhaling. Exhale, slowly lower. Keep those abs in tight throughout. Right arm up, inhaling. Exhale, slowly lower. Left arm up, inhaling, looking if you choose. Exhale, slowly lower. Right arm up, inhaling, looking if you did on the other side. Exhale, slowly lower. Make sure you're stable and slowly come up. Inhaling as you reach the top. Exhale, reach, lengthen, and lower the arms all the way down to the side. Uncross your legs, shake everything out. I'm going to straighten my mat out. And let's go ahead and do a little bit of shoulder work for our postures. We're going to do a chest expansion. So first, clasp the fingers together behind you, squeeze the shoulder blades together, straightening those arms. If you can't straighten the arms, you can hold something in your hands. I'm going to grab my little Jayhawk here, and you can hold it. You can see if you can't get them together, you can hold something on the side. But you want your arms as straight as possible. Now, take a deep breath in. Exhale, either hold it here with the chest open, breathing, or arch back. Jaw closed for a better stretch on the neck. Up, inhaling. Exhale, stretch forward, bending at the hips. Lengthen the spine. Relax the head and neck. Arms up high, abs in tight. Breathing. You can modify by bending the knees over the feet if you choose, but listen to your body and breathe. Slowly come up. Inhaling as you reach the top. Exhale, lower the arms, but keep the fingers clasped together and the arms as straight as possible. And now we're going to repeat that, but if you want, you can turn the palms down and out from the bottom so the palms are facing outward if you choose. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, either hold it here or again, arch back. Up, inhaling. Exhale, stretch forward, bending at the hips, lengthen the spine, relax the head and neck, arms up high, abs in tight, breathe. Slowly come up, inhaling as you reach the top. Exhale, lower the arms, but keep the fingers clasped together if you can. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, hold it here with the chest open, or again, arch back. Up, inhaling. Exhale, release. Shake everything out, moving the hips from side to side. Shake your feet out. And let's take a deep cleansing breath. Nice and tall, hips tucked under, shoulders back and down. Up, inhaling. Exhale, reach and lower all the way down to the sides. Now, I want you to bring the right arm up, inhaling. Exhale, reach, and I want you to stretch again, all the way over, staying in the same plane. Weight on both feet, abs in tight. Bring that right shoulder back. I know we did this in the warm-up, but this is such a wonderful posture. Keep the body in the same plane. Breathing. Then up, inhaling. Exhale, change sides. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, reach, lengthen, and stretch again in the same manner, staying in that same plane, making sure that shoulder's back. Look up and breathe. Weight on both feet. Feel the stretch up the side of your body. Up, inhaling. Exhale, both arms straight up. Check the posture. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, reach, lengthen, bend the knees. Knees over the feet. In Utkatasana, fierce or chair pose, looking up at the fingertips if you can. Push out through the glutes as you bend at the hips. Knees are directly over those feet. Breathing. Then straighten the legs up, inhaling. Exhale, reach, lengthen, and either stretch upward or arch back. Reaching back, jaw closed for a better stretch on the neck. Breathing. Up, inhaling. Exhale, prayer position. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, reach, lengthen, and lower the arms all the way down to the sides. Now just bring both arms up, inhaling. Exhale, bend the elbows and bring the arms down so the arms are parallel to each other and perpendicular to the floor, the forearms. The upper arms are parallel to the floor. I want you to straighten the arms up, inhaling. Exhale, reach, and do that again. But keep them in the same plane. So if you see me here, they're at least in the same plane. You don't want them forward. You want them back. Up again, inhaling. Exhale, reach, and lower down again. Now, arms up, inhaling. Exhale, reach and lower to the T position, palms down. Keep those shoulders back and down. Push out through the heel of your hand. Your palms are out as if you're pushing against an imaginary wall. Lengthen those arms, but keep the shoulders down. Breathe. And now bring the palms in. Still lengthen the arms and imagine pulling in, like pulling in on a wall that's right there. Arms are tight, shoulders are down, arms are long and as straight as possible. Don't forget to breathe. Release. Palms forward, push against that imaginary wall there. Breathing, keep those shoulders down. Release, and now palms back. Push against that imaginary wall behind you, right there. Lengthen. Breathe. Keep those shoulders down and those arms nice and long. Release, palms up and bring the arms up, inhaling. Exhale, prayer position. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, reach and lower the arms all the way down to the side. Roll the shoulders back, great big circle, loosening up the torso as you roll. Now straighten the arms for full range of motion. We're strengthening our shoulders and our upper backs in particular as we do these postures. We'll do a deep cleansing breath now, nice and tall, hips tucked under, shoulders back and down, up, inhaling. Exhale, reach and lower. We're going to do a sun salutation now with a few little variations. So first, stand at the front of your mat, nice and tall, hips tucked under, shoulders back and down. Bring the arms up, inhale. Exhale, stretch forward, bending at the hips, and come into Ardha Uttanasana. Fingertips on the floor beside the feet. You can modify with your fingertips on the front of your legs, but you want your back as long and flat as possible. Shoulders back and down as best you can. Abs in tight, lengthen that spine. Push out through the glutes as you're bent at the hips. Breathing. You can always hold books or have blocks, props of some sort down below if you need to. You may hold it here or lower the palms to the floor or blocks into Uttanasana. Breathing. Keep those abs in tight. Try to keep the legs as straight as possible, but modify if you need to. Breathing. Bend the knees enough to slide the left and the right foot back. Hip width apart. Hips in the air. Up on those toes or the balls of your feet. Push the heels down, head between the arms. Lengthen the torso and arms. Rotate the shoulders down from the outside so the triceps are somewhat facing downward. Lengthen and breathe in that downward facing dog or Adho Mukha Svanasana. You can always modify down on your knees if you need to. Listen to your body and breathe. Lower the hips now to a plank or a high hover position. High on those shoulders. You can always modify down on your elbows if you'd like, or if you need to, if you have wrist issues. You can also fist your hands and be on your fists if you need to, if that helps. But listen to your body and modify as needed. Open to the right to a side plank. You can modify with the left or lower knee down on the floor. You can have the heel of one foot up against the toes of the other. You can stack your feet on top of each other. You can bring that top leg up. Whatever you choose. Focus on your posture and your breathing. I want you to do something. I want you to bring your right foot forward and put the foot on the floor where your knee is pointed to the front and you're supporting yourself, and then lower that upper arm above the head. Bring it back up, inhaling. Exhale and put the leg back if you can, and then come back down into a plank position. We'll do the same on the other side. You can just do a regular plank if you want. However you did it on the other side, try to do it on this side as well. Breathing. If you do want to, you can bring that top leg. My foot's on the floor, pointed perpendicular to my body. Thighs perpendicular to my body. Then bring it back down to a plank. Knees on the floor. Tops of the feet on the floor. You can come into a puppy pose. Forearms and head on the floor, rear end up, or slide all the way down. To a moon position, resting the rear end on the heels, or as close as you can, arms still outstretched, head and neck relaxed, abs in tight, breathing. You can slide the arms down to your sides, palms up. Let the shoulders and arms rest down into this child's pose. Abs still in tight, breathing. And then slowly round up, keeping the abs in tight. Head, neck, and arms relax. And as the head comes up, bring the arms up, inhaling. You're sitting on your heels or as close as you can. Exhale, stretch upright, coming up and down. If you have knee or hip issues that don't allow you to do this, you can just stay up on those knees or just sit either on your heels or cross-legged and go up and down. But if you can, it's great for your quads if you can go up and down. So listen to your body and do what works for you. This is a cat stretch. Chris would love this with her cats. Then come back down into the child's pose again. Head, neck, and arms relaxed, abs in tight. Slide the arms in front again into that moon position. You can come into the puppy pose if you choose. Pick the head up, slide down. Forearms on the floor, clasp the fingers together and come into a low hover or an elbow plank. Breathing. Modify by lowering the legs if you need to. But try to stay high on the shoulders, head and neck, and extension of the spine as best you can. Abs in tight, breathe. Lower the quads and the tops of the feet to the floor to an elbow cobra. Look up, jaw closed. High on those shoulders, breathing. Now you may hold it here or palms on the floor beside the rib cage, elbows close to the body. Take a deep breath in. Exhale and come all the way up to a full cobra posture, high on those shoulders. Look up and breathe. Now bend the knees enough to plant the toes in the floor behind you. Pick those hips up into the air. Up on those toes, push the heels down, lengthen. Again, come into that downward facing dog. Breathing, check that posture. And if you're not modifying on your knees, as you hold this posture, I want you to take the left hand and bring it to the right foot, outside of the right foot, and look to the right side. Breathing. You don't have to. You could do a regular downward dog if you'd like. Then bring it back if you can. And if you did it on the other side, bring the right hand, put it on the outside of the left foot, and look to the left. Breathing. Keep those abs in tight. Back to a downward dog. Now lower the hips enough to slide the left and the right foot back up to the front of your mat, again into Ardha Uttanasana, keeping those shoulders back and down as best you can. Push out through those glutes, modify if you need to. Keep those abs in nice and tight. You may hold it here or again come into Uttanasana with the palms flat on the floor. Breathing. No stress on the head and neck. Now release the hold. And you may round up one vertebra at a time, head, neck, and arms relaxed, or arms at your ears or your sides. You can modify by bending the knees as you come up, but keep the abs in tight and slowly come up. Inhaling as you reach the top. Exhale, prayer position. Inhale, up with the arms. Exhale, reach up, lengthen, or arch back, reaching back. Up, inhale. Exhale, prayer position again. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, reach and lower down. Check the posture, nice and tall, hips tucked under, shoulders back and down. Take a deep cleansing breath. Inhale up. Exhale, reach and lower. Again, roll the shoulders back. Great big circles, loosening up the torso as you roll. Breathing. Keep those abs in tight throughout. Straighten the arms for full range of motion. And now we're going to get down to the floor without using our hands for support, but of course, if you need the hands, go ahead and use them. I'm going to move my mat forward a bit, and I'm going to change the view. So it's just a better view for floor work. There we go. There we go. Seated stick posture. Legs straight, back straight, arms straight. Point the toes. Flex the feet. Relax the feet. Release the hold and relax the hands on the front of the thighs. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, bend the knees and bring the soles of the feet together. You can hold the knees are out. You can hold the ankles with the hands, or you can hold the toes with the hands and lower those knees down toward the floor. But keep the torso nice and tall, abs in tight. Breathe. Release and rock and roll from side to side, massaging the glutes and the upper thighs against the mat. Come back to the center. Bring those heels in a little more. Lower those knees toward the floor. And if you want, you can release and place your hands back on the floor behind you. I like my fingers pointed outwards. Some like theirs pointed in. Make sure you're nice and tall. Lower those knees down towards the floor. Abs are in tight. Lengthen the spine. You can relax the head a little bit. It can be an extension of the spine. You don't want it to go all the way back. Breathing. And now release. Straighten those legs out in front of you. Seated stick posture. Legs straight back, straight arms straight. We're going to do some spinal twists. I'm going to give you the option to do the ones where we sit cross-legged, half lotus, or full lotus. But I'm going to do the old-fashioned ones. I'm going to talk you through those so you can do whichever works for you. If you do the ones where you're seated, it won't quite work when I say seated. When you're in cross-legged, half lotus, or full lotus, just hold them as long as you can and comfortably, and then stop and get into the next posture with us. So first I'm going to bring my right leg up. Hug my knees into my chest, my right knee. And then I'm going to put the sole of my right foot on the outside of my left thigh and hug my knee into my chest. And this might be a pretty good hip opener for some of you. Also, I can feel it now too. Bringing my knee up to my chest. And now what I'd like you to do is take your left arm and put it on the outside of the right knee and bring that knee over to the left. My right hand is on the floor behind me. And turn and look behind you. Nice and tall. You want your torso as tall as possible. This is just the beginning one. We're going to do more than one on each side. Breathing. High on that shoulder, abs in tight. Turn to the front, inhaling. Exhale, release, and straighten both legs up. Seated stick posture, legs straight, back straight, arms straight. Point the toes and flex the feet. Relax the feet. Take a deep breath in. Exhale and bring that left knee in. Hug it into your chest. Put the left sole on the outside of the right thigh. Hug that knee into your chest. Left hand on the floor behind you. Bring that right elbow on the outside of the left knee and bring it to the right. Turn, look behind you. Abs are in tight and you're breathing. Turn to the front, inhaling. Exhale and release. Seated stick posture, legs straight, back straight, arms straight. Point the toes and flex the feet. Relax the feet. That was the beginning one. Now we're going to do the intermediate and may go into the more advanced. So relax the hands, take a deep breath in. Exhale, bring that right knee in to the chest. Put that right foot on the outside of the left thigh, hugging that knee in. Right hand back behind. Bring the left elbow on the outside of the right knee, bringing it over to the left. This is the beginning, but now what we can do is lower that left hand down to the outside of the left leg, and I'm going to bring my left knee in, where my left foot is basically connected to my right glute. Turn, look behind you, breathing. Turn to the front, inhaling. Exhale and release. I would normally put my knee on top, but I want to go ahead and finish the other side. Seated stick posture. We'll do that on the next one. Point the toes, flex the feet. Relax the feet. Release the hold. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, bring that left knee in. Hug it in. Bring the sole of that foot over on the outside of the right thigh. Hug that knee into the chest. Left hand behind you. Right elbow on the outside of the left knee, turning that to bringing it further to the right. And then you can lower that right arm down to the outside of that right leg. And I'm bringing my right knee in, or bending my right knee and bringing my right foot in to basically connect with my left glute. Breathing. Turn to the front, inhaling. Exhale and release. Now we're going to do one more. It's a little more advanced, and then we're going to have our knees on top. Hope you all are doing okay. Seated stick posture. Point the toes, flex the feet, relax the feet. Release the hold. Take another deep breath in. Exhale, bring that right knee in. Sole of the foot on the outside of the left thigh. Right hand back behind. Left elbow on the outside of the right knee. Bring that left knee, turn the left knee in, bend the knee and bring the foot in. And now I'm going to lower this, but what I'm going to do is bring, instead of just hold the outside of my knee, I'm going to bring my arms around and I'm going to see if I can touch. And I barely can, barely touch my arms. Turning back behind. Turn to the front, inhaling. Exhale, and now I'm going to have my right knee on top of my left knee. If you can't do this, just sit cross-legged. Trying a lot of different things here. Fingertips on the floor in front of you, shoulder width apart, walk forward, lengthen the spine, abs in tight, and just stretch over those knees. And if you are sitting cross-legged, just stretch forward. When your knees are on top of each other, my left foot is on the right side of my body, and my right foot is on the left side of my body. Breathe. Then slowly come up, inhaling. Exhale and lower the arms down. Now straighten the legs out, seated stick posture, legs straight back, straight arms straight, point the toes, flex the feet. Relax the feet, bring that left knee in, put the sole of that foot on the outside of the right thigh, right arm on the outside of the left knee, left hand back behind, bring that right foot in, and now let's bring this, my right arm's underneath my bent leg, and I'm turning to the back and my fingers are touching underneath my bent left leg. Breathing, my left arm's around the back of my body. Turn to the front, inhaling. Exhale, and put the left knee on top of the right knee now. Nice and tall. My hands are on my left knee, but now I'm going to place my fingertips on the floor in front of me. Lengthen the spine and walk forward. My left foot is on the right side of my body, and my right foot is on the left side. Abs in tight, breathing. Now back up, inhaling. Exhale, lower the arms down. Now, unwrap those legs and hug those knees into your chest with your arms. Try to balance if you can. You can put a toe or two down if you want. And then come to a resting position. Hands underneath the knees and underneath the thighs. Abs are parallel to each other. You may hold this position breathing or straighten those legs. And you may hold this position breathing or bring the hands up to the calves or the ankles. And you may hold this position or open those legs. I'll come back to the center. Open those legs. And you may hold it here or release the hands. Point the toes, flex the feet, point, flex, point, flex, point, flex, point, and flex. Relax the feet, bring the legs in, inhaling. Exhale, resting position. You may hold it here breathing or straighten those legs up again. I'm going to turn to the side again. just a bit. And you may hold it here breathing, or come into that full boat posture, arms parallel to the floor and to each other. Point, flex, point, flex, point, flex, point, flex, point, and flex. Relax the feet, resting position, inhaling. Exhale, bend the knees, feet on the floor. Hug those knees into your chest with your arms. Nice and tall. Now straighten the legs out again. Seated stick posture. Legs straight, back straight, arms straight. Point the toes, flex the feet. Relax the feet, relax the hands on the thighs. Take a deep breath in. Exhale and round down. One vertebra at a time. And as your head reaches the floor, take a deep breath in, arms at your sides, near your hips, palms down. Exhale, push down with those arms and slowly bring those legs up. Remember, if you have back issues, bend the knees and then straighten those legs up perpendicular to the floor. Lower back will be against the floor and the abs will be sucked in toward the spinal column. Shoulders are on the floor, arms at your sides, near your hips, palms down. Point the toes, flex the feet. Relax the feet, circle those feet round and round, keeping the abs in and the lower back against the floor as best you can. And then change direction with those circles. Point the toes, flex the feet. Relax the feet, open the legs. Place the hands on the inner thighs, putting pressure down. Making sure that lower back is against the floor. The abs are in tight, and breathe. If you can keep the legs straight and the shoulders on the floor, bring the hands down to the calves or the ankles. Keep that pressure on those open legs. Point the toes. Flex the feet. Point. Flex. Point. Flex. Relax the feet. Bring the legs up, inhaling. Exhale, bend the knees and hug them into your chest with your arms. Full wind releasing position, breathing. Abs in tight, rolling from side to side. Come back to the center. Straighten the legs up perpendicular to the floor. Point the toes and flex the feet. Relax the feet and slowly lower those straight legs down toward the floor, slowly and in control. You're going to end up, actually, if you have back issues, don't forget to bend the knees and slide the feet on the floor until the legs are straight. And if you haven't already done so, when you do reach the floor with the straight legs, take a deep breath into your system, inhaling through the nose, filling the lungs. Exhale, push down with the arms and slowly bring that right leg up perpendicular to the floor. Point the toe, flex the foot. Relax the foot, bend the knee and hug it into your chest with your arms. Half wind releasing position, breathing. The legs are relaxed, arms tightly hugging the one leg in. Abs are in tight and the back is against the floor. If you have knee issues and this bothers you, release the shin and just put your hands on the back of the thigh. That will put less pressure on your knee. If you don't have any issues, it'll be fine. If you want a little more, raise the head up toward the knee in the embryo position, keeping those abs in nice and tight. Lower the head, inhale. Exhale, release the hold, straighten that leg up perpendicular to the floor. Place your hands on the back of that right thigh. And if you can keep the legs straight, you can slide the hands down to the calves or the ankles, but keep those shoulders on the floor when the back is on the floor. Remember, you can always modify by bending the other knee if you have issues with your back and that bothers you. But if not, take a deep breath in. Exhale and bring the torso up toward that straight right leg. Keep those abs in tight breathing. Point that right toe. Flex the right foot. Feel the muscles. Don't forget to breathe. Lower the torso, inhaling. Exhale, relax the foot. Walk your hands back down. Bend that knee and hug it into your chest with your arms. Half wind releasing position. Breathe. And again, if you want a little more, raise your head up toward that knee in the embryo position. Lower the head, inhaling. Exhale, release the hold, arms at your sides near your hips, palms down, straighten that leg up perpendicular to the floor, point the toe, flex the foot. Relax the foot and slowly lower that straight right leg down toward the floor, slowly and in control. You're going to end up holding it about 6 inches off the floor, breathing. Point the toe, flex the foot. Relax the foot and lower to the floor, inhaling. Exhale, slowly bring that left leg up perpendicular to the floor. Point the toe, flex the foot, relax the foot, bend the knee, and hug it into your chest with your arms. Half wind releasing position on this side of your body. Back is against the floor, abs in tight. And if you want a little more, you can raise your head up toward that knee in the embryo position, keeping those abs in. Lower the head, inhale. Exhale, release the hold, straighten the leg up perpendicular to the floor, hands on the back of the thigh. If you can keep the legs straight, you can slide the hands up to the calf or the ankle. Just keep those shoulders on the floor. Modify if you need to by bending that other knee. Take a deep breath into your system. Exhale and bring the torso up toward that straight left leg. Point the toe, feel the muscles. Flex the foot and feel those muscles. Keep those abs in and breathe. Lower the torso, inhaling. Exhale, relax the foot, walk your hands back down, bend that knee and hug it into your chest with your arms. Half wind releasing position, breathe. And again, if you want a little more, raise your head up toward that knee in the embryo position, abs in tight. Lower the head, inhale. Exhale, release the hold, arms at your sides near your hips, palms down, straighten that leg up perpendicular to the floor, point the toe, flex the foot. Relax the foot and slowly lower that straight left leg down toward the floor, slowly and in control. Again, you're going to end up holding it about 6 inches off the floor, breathing. Point the toe, flex the foot. Relax the foot and lower to the floor, inhaling. Exhale and just relax your body in that corpse posture. Palms up, feet flopped out to the sides. Our time is up, I'm so sorry. But it's time to start Shavasana or full relaxation. So we're going to take a deep breath into our system together, inhaling through the nose, filling the lungs. And then slowly exhale through the mouth, through slightly parted lips. And now we're going to take another deep breath in shortly together. And when we exhale this time, we're going to fist and flex and tighten everything in our bodies together again as we exhale. So take a deep breath into your system. Exhale and tighten. And release. And just rest down into that corpse posture. Feet flopped out, palms up. You may want to put something under your knees or cover yourselves with towels or blankets. You may want to roll your heads from side to side until you find the most comfortable position for your head and neck. Allow the shoulders to rest down into the surface below you. Close your eyes. Breathe. Open your minds. Open your minds and travel to one of your favorite safe places. Your safe place could be anywhere, with anyone or all alone. If you're not already in your safe place, go there now. Breathe. Your mind is open. You're in your safe place. We'll move through your body and consciously relax the muscles and release the joints as we do. We're going to start today focusing on the feet and the toes, relaxing the muscles, releasing the joints, allowing those heels to sink deeper into the surface below you. Again, wherever you might be in your safe place. As you begin to move up the legs, release the joints in your ankles. Relax the shins. Relax the calves. Release the joints in your knees. Relax the hamstrings up the back of your legs. Relax the quadriceps as you relax the thighs. Relax the hips, releasing the joints. Relax the glutes. Allow the glutes to sink deeper into the surface below you, wherever you might be in your safe place. As we continue to move up your body, focus on your lower back and spinal area near the tailbone. Relax the spinal area as you move through those muscles through the lower back, relaxing them as well. Relax the obliques of the sides of your torso. Relax the abdominal muscles. Relax the diaphragm and rib cage areas, remembering to breathe. Relax the mid part of your back and spinal column. Relax the upper back and shoulder blades, relaxing the spinal column as you move up between the shoulder blades through the neck to the base of the skull. Now focus on the chest. Relax the sternum area and pecs. Relax the clavicle or collarbone area. And now let's focus on the shoulders. Relax those shoulders, relaxing the deltoid and lateral muscles as you release those joints. Begin to move down the arms, relaxing the upper arms, the biceps and triceps. Release the joints in your elbows. Relax the forearms. Release the joints in your wrists. Relax the hands and fingers as you release those joints. Allow those fingers just to naturally curl up and the hands to sink a little bit deeper into the surface below you. Bring the focus back up to the shoulders. So much stress and tension rest in those shoulders and the upper back. allow all that stress and tension to float away with each exhalation, never to be invited back. Focus now on the neck. Relax the neck from the bottom to the top and all the way around. Breathe. Release the jaw as you relax the chin. Relax the lips. Relax the tongue. Relax the cheeks. Relax the nose and ears. Relax the eyes and temples. Relax the brow. Smooth the forehead. And now relax the scalp, beginning at the forehead, at the perfect intensity for you. Imagine a massage moving all the way through the scalp to the base of the skull of the neck. Breathe. Your mind is open. You're in your safe place. Your body is relaxed and functioning perfectly. And now, from wherever you may have traveled in your mind, it's time to come home. So take a deep breath into your system. Exhale and become aware of your fingers and toes, your wrists and your ankles. Take another deep breath in. Exhale and bring those legs up, bending the knees. Hug them into your chest with your arms. Raise the head up toward the knees. Lower the head, inhaling. Exhale and either roll to the right to sit up or rock and roll up to a seated position and sit cross-legged, half lotus or full lotus in whatever manner feels best for you right now, nice and tall. Bring the arms up, inhaling. Exhale, prayer position. Hold the position, inhaling. Exhale, and thank you very much for coming. Namaste. I hope you all feel better than when we started, and I hope you got what you needed. And thank you very much for being here. Please unmute yourselves as I stop the recording.